Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a concept that might just change how you see things.
Yeah, things like your wealth, maybe your time, even your potential.
Exactly. We're exploring a really core idea in finance. The difference between assets that just sit there,
Yeah,
static.
right. Versus the ones that are actually doing something,
Yeah.
generating income, working for you.
So, our mission today, it's not just about looking at, like, nice graphics.
No, definitely not.
We're using these graphic suggestions from our source material to explore some really effective visual metaphors.
And these aren't just, eye candy. They're designed to show movement, growth, active wealth creation.
Yeah, contrasting that really vividly with, well, missed opportunities. Think of this as a shortcut, maybe.
A shortcut to really getting a financial principle that, honestly, a lot of people miss.
Okay, so let's get to the core question. It comes from this article, Don't Just Buy Land, Instead Do This.
Mm.
And the question is really, what if the way you picture your money, the way you visualize it, is actually holding it back?
That's a big one. And the sources give us these incredible visuals to show that exact contrast. Makes it instantly graspable.
It does. And what's really interesting, I think, is how these visuals hammer home the idea of opportunity cost.
Yes, that's crucial. It's not just about what you own. It's about what that asset isn't doing for you while you own it.
Which is something investors often struggle with, right? Putting a number on that missed potential.
Definitely. It's abstract. But these visuals, they make it feel very real.
Okay, so let's dive into the first big concept from the source. Sleeping money versus working money. How do the visuals actually show this?
Right, well, picture a split screen, basically. On the left, you've got the don't buy land idea.
Okay.
So you see this plot of land, it's bare, undeveloped, maybe a fence, maybe a for sale sign kind of leaning there.
Okay.
And the sky above is maybe hazy or just looks stagnant.
And to really make the point,
They show a few coins or maybe some banknotes literally sleeping on the ground. Little zzz bubbles coming off them.
okay, very direct.
And the colors, this is important, they're all muted. Desaturated, grays, dull greens, faded browns. It just looks inactive.
And that bare land, it really shows an asset that might be losing value to inflation, right?
Exactly. Or costing you money in taxes or upkeep, the holding costs.
Without actually giving you anything back right now. No cash flow. It's almost a bit sad, just sitting there.
It is. The potential is just snoozing. And those muted colors, they just reinforce that feeling of stagnation.
It's like a visual representation of a financial drain.
Yeah.
Capital tied up, illiquid.
Not working for you.
Yeah.
It makes you face that choice, the choice to let assets just lie dormant. Maybe unconsciously.
Okay, so that's the sleeping side. Now
Hmm?
flip to the other side. The instead do this part. What's happening there?
This is where the energy is. It's vibrant, dynamic, lots of productive stuff happening.
Like what?
You might see a growth chart, like a stylized graph, clearly trending upwards.
Okay, growth.
Or maybe a hand planting a seed in rich soil, and there's already a little plant sprouting. Tangible growth, compounding.
Nice. What else?
Then you have symbols for investing in yourself, an open book, maybe a laptop screen, skills, knowledge.
Which are maybe your best assets, arguably.
Absolutely. And then miniature symbols of activity, a busy market, maybe a little rental property with cash flowing out.
Money literally flowing out the door.
Yeah. Or hands exchanging goods, things that show cash flow, diversification and action.
And the money itself. You said the other money was sleeping.
Right. Here, the coins and banknotes have like little wings or legs.
Seriously?
Yeah. They're shown actively moving, running, flying towards those positive symbols, maybe little whoosh lines behind them.
That's quite a contrast.
And the colors seal the deal. Bright, vibrant greens, golds, blues, oranges. Total opposite of the goal side. You can't miss the energy.
Wow. Okay. So it's incredibly clear which side represents, well, progress.
Precisely. And then there's usually a big, bold arrow pointing from the sleeping side to the working side.
What does it say?
Maybe something like transform your wealth or just make your money work. A real call to action.
So these visuals, they immediately communicate this idea of financial agency, you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Your ability to take control. And it just highlights that massive difference between merely holding an asset.
And actually activating it, making it productive.
That's the core message.
That sleeping versus working visual is incredibly stark, really gets the point across. But the source also mentioned another visual, right? The weighing scale.
Yes, the weighing scale. Another really effective one.
How does that work? How does it illustrate the same kind of idea?
Well, it uses something we all understand, a simple balance scale, to show a kind of financial imbalance.
Okay.
So imagine the scale. On the left pan, it's weighed down. It's heavier, sinking lower.
What's in that pan?
A single, big, heavy-looking block. Maybe it's just labeled land. Or it could be a stack of land titles looking kind of dusty.
So it's literally weighing things down.
Yeah. Exactly. It visually represents the drag, the burden maybe, of a single illiquid asset.
An asset that might only offer appreciation way down the line, if you're lucky. Speculative value.
Right, compared to, say, the velocity you get from more active investments.
Yeah.
Or the safety of diversification.
So that's the heavy, less desirable side. What's on the other pan?
Hmm.
The one that's higher up.
Ah, the lighter, higher side. This shows the better outcome, the greater potential.
And it's lighter because...
Because it's filled with a collection of smaller, active symbols. Things that represent ongoing value creation.
Wait, what kind of symbols?
You might see a little money tree, maybe with coins for leaves, classic symbol,
Mhm.
or a brain, or a book, again, skills and knowledge paying off, a growing plant for compounding, little bags of money that look like they're multiplying.
So lots of smaller, dynamic things instead of one big block.
Exactly, and probably an arrow pointing upwards, just to emphasize growth and positive direction.
And the colors again, same contrast.
Same idea, yeah. The land side is muted, maybe grays and browns, reinforcing that heavy, static feel.
Oh, the other side.
Is bright, appealing, greens, golds. It draws your eye. It looks like the better place to be.
It literally tips the scales visually towards active assets.
Precisely. It's a
That's-
really compelling visual argument for putting your capital to work actively, not just letting it sit.
It really does make the message crystal clear.
Yeah.
So stepping back a bit, for you listening, why are these kinds of visuals, these metaphors, so effective? Why do they work so well?
Well, first off, they create immediate contrast. It's very either.
Right. The don't do this is impossible to miss. No gray area.
Exactly. It simplifies what can feel like a complex financial decision into a really clear choice.
And they use these powerful metaphors,
Yeah.
right? Things we already understand. Sleeping money, working money, a weighing scale.
Universal symbols. You don't need a finance background to get the basic idea. It taps into intuition about movement, progress, weight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, they feel very action-oriented, especially the working money side, all that movement.
Money with legs.
Yeah. It conveys activity, growth. It kind of taps into our desire for progress, maybe nudges us past that inertia.
Which is often the biggest hurdle in finance, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just getting started making a change.
it really is. And finally, let's be honest.
They look good.
They're visually engaging, bright colors, clear images. They stick in your mind.
Which is what you want if you're trying to shift someone's perspective.
Yeah.
Or encourage a new way of thinking or acting.
Absolutely. Memorability is key.
So, wrapping this up then.
Yeah.
What does this all really mean for you, the listener? What's the takeaway?
Well, understanding this difference, seeing these visuals, it's not just about, appreciating graphic design.
Right.
It's about fundamentally shifting how you approach building wealth, moving from just passively holding things.
To actively growing things.
Exactly. Recognizing that every dollar, every asset really should have a job to do in your overall financial picture.
So it encourages you to think more critically about your own situation.
Definitely. Where do your assets stand? Are they sleeping? Are they maybe dragging you down on that scale?
Or are they working hard for you? Generating income, creating cash flow, aligning with your actual goals.
That's the critical self-assessment these visuals are designed to spark.
That is a powerful thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so maybe here's something to leave you all with today. If we can visualize sleeping versus working money so clearly, what if you applied that same lens, that same kind of visual thinking to your existing portfolio?
Ooh, interesting. Like really separating the performers from the sleepers already in there.
Yeah. Or even applying it beyond just money. What about your time, your skills, your relationships?
Applying that sleeping versus working or static versus active filter to other areas.
Right. Where might that reveal untapped potential for growth, for transformation? Something to think about.
Definitely something to ponder.
Until our next deep dive, thanks for tuning in.